What's up, you guys? It's your boy Squints here with another episode of A Man and His Podcast. Today, I have a very special guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm special. That's a first. But greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. This is your boy Joshua Gresham, aka Gresh. What is happening with you? What is up, brother?
Not much. We've been planning this for shit. It seems
Months.
for yeah. I was gonna say months, and then just shit pops up, and then schedules don't align and all that, and then that's why I was like, fuck, if we're just doing it on Monday, I don't care.
Oh
We
yeah,
gotta get
for
it
sure,
done.
for sure.
So for the people that don't know, you wanna let them know what exactly you do.
My main 9 to 5 is basically I'm a travel technical specialist. I do pretty much operate shows, production, video production. So if I'm on the road, it's not because I'm a pimp or anything. It's because I'm scheduled to fly out and handle some business, make sure these people's uh, shows are good. But as far as yours truly, I am the founder CEO of Gresham Digital Media. Basically, is my whole media platform. It's yours truly, Gresham. I'm the face of it. So you have stuff like the Gresham Leaks podcast, Gresham on YouTube, which I believe culminated up close to 7K within 6 months. I've been doing that channel for so long, but as I started learning it and really taking it more serious and not really treating it like a side hustle, more so like one of my hustles, is it started culminating a good following there as well. So I pretty much do everything. But my main bread and butter right now is traveling and doing the Gresham Leaks podcast, which just returned 2 weeks ago. So I'm doing a lot of moving parts.
So what made you wanna start a podcast?
uh, the funny thing is, I always tell this story whenever people ask me. I was doing YouTube, like playing video games for so long, and my main thing was always using WWE 2K gamings or WWE games to create videos, pretty much like your CM pulses, your Dank Ops, your BDEs, and all this stuff, like universe mode. Like we was doing it. It was fun, little fun thing. And then WWE 2K20 hit, and it was the worst video game I've ever played in my life. So I said I'm going to quit YouTube, but then I started listening to guys like Solid Monster. I believe around the time Deadlock podcast just started, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna start my own podcast. So I'm rocking out the Blue Yeti right now. So like I haven't had rocked this out in probably like 2 years now since I got my new setup. But I pulled up the Blue Yeti, used my laptop web camera, and just started the Gresham Leaks podcast. Basically I basically did the ill advised. I converted a gaming channel into a podcasting channel and expected overnight success, which wasn't. It was ill advised. I should have taken a second opinion before I decided to flip the switch on it. Like I had subscribers leave the channel because they were like, I came for a gaming channel, but you turned this into a podcast where you pretty much like everybody else. I was doing the news and rumor stuff. So I basically did a relaunch in 2 years ago, 2021, 2022. And it was a whole different ball game. Like I was basically having fun. First season, second season, I brought on my co-host, a new co-host. Shout out Swallow the Bandit. She was my childhood best friend. Like I've known her. We've known each other since we was toddlers. So we was basically doing retro reviews. Like we was like, because we was just so bored with modern wrestling at the time, which was 2021. Like we was just checked out, and we was always traveling. Whereas now with the current season, I'm more balanced with my traveling, and the current product is interesting. So with this season, we're just doing the thing, but mainly podcasting was just so I can get my like just to vent and have fun. Like one thing I've noticed is a lot of people have a podcast because they want to be in the industry or they want to be the go-to gossip. I don't really care about that. Like I always tell people, if you come to the Gresham Leaks podcast, it has my name in it, but it's a family. Like you got my boy Highlight Reel. He stepped in as the temporary co-host until we mess around and find it. Because one thing I always wanted to do, and this isn't because it's a trend or whatever. I always wanted a female co-host because I feel like the vocal women, are not really comfortable or open to being a part of wrestling space because it's so misogynistic. So many dudes out here who just don't know how to talk to women out of a Cash App transaction. So we don't really. So it's like so I hit up my last co-host. She was down to do it. Scheduling conflict stopped her from this season. But me and my boy Highlight, our goal is to eventually find that true lady co-host that is synced with me and who vibes with me and who basically knows her shit because fellas, it's completely normal for women to know their shit or know more than us. It's okay. I promise. Like you're not lesser of a man if a woman knows how to knows her ins and outs of the wrestling business. It's Broadway with wrestling tights. Calm down. But yeah, it's like it was also I just started the podcast mainly. It was just a branch of my main YouTube channel, which basically do the what ifs and the Facebook. Like I still do the video games. I finally found that balance to where I don't have to like I found a type of videos that I would do on YouTube where it's not an hour or whatever. It's like 10, 15 minutes tops of me just doing like a what if. Like I got one. I'm when we're done here, I'm going to start working on the one that I plan on dropping this week. It'll be my first video back since my mom passed in October. So it's uh it's a lot of moving parts, but and what I did was is I stopped being a one man team. I literally contact people. So it's a fun time. Like I may be the face of all this, but it's a whole team back there. Like shout out my boy Highlight Reel, shout out show off Steve OG, shout out like all these people who pretty much are. And I actually went ahead and contacted a second editor, so I won't have to edit as much myself anymore. But so I can get more content out. So it's like once I stop being I'll try to stop trying to be a one man team, stuff just started popping off.
No, it's funny you said that when you started it, you just had your laptop and your mic or whatever, because that's the biggest advice I give people. Like, because I know people that like they'll come to me and they'll be like, "Hey, Squint, I'm trying to start a podcast. What do I need?" And I was like, "You just need anything that can record audio, and then just click record and don't look back." And I have to stress to them, I'm like, your first episode is not gonna be great. Your first video not gonna be great. Like, and like I keep telling people that because they're like, oh man, I recorded and it wasn't good, and I was like, nobody's first time is good at all. Like, looking back at like my first episode, my first video, and looking now, and I'm like, you grow as you go on, and then like the equipment and all that you figure out as you go on too.
Like people always give me that shock face when I tell them I've been doing content for since 2009, and I didn't really pop off until 2017.
Yeah, yeah. It's not an overnight thing at all. Like I've been doing.
Some people pop off within six
Oh,
months
yeah,
because they've pretty much I guess I wouldn't say wasted time. They studied and they followed whatever because what in 2009 a lot of resources wasn't available like they are now. So anybody, I'm not saying anybody, but like if you really want to put the time and effort into creating a podcast, creating YouTube, creating a brand, a company, it's so much resources out here now that you can literally just, and especially if you know some good people, because the beauty behind me popping off, like reaching a certain number as I compare it from 2009 to now is because I've opened myself to just be cool people. You continue to be original with your content, with your podcast or whatever, and then you just you meet more new people, and you just be chill about it. Like some people, they'll meet somebody and then fuck it up in some way, shape, or form. Whereas if you just choose to be just chill, relax, and just do your thing, then you I feel like you'll get some good success because like I don't know if you've ever heard of Friendly Space Ninja on YouTube.
sounds
He
sounds
does
familiar.
he does reviews on the he does reviews of like classic movies or videos on YouTube. Friendly Space Ninja. He started his channel. I think he reached over close to a million. No, he reached 100,000 subscribers on YouTube within 6 months
Yeah,
off of two videos. because he basically, it was like a paradox, if you will. Like he uploaded a good video at the right time. It was edited properly. It was scripted. It was recorded properly. And then all he did was word it, tackled the algorithm on YouTube, and then he blew up. And that spun off into a collaborative podcast that he does with other big YouTube channels that popped off within whatever. So that's what I'm saying. It was like you can pop off overnight. You just gotta be willing to put in the work.
No, definitely. And like I had someone, I ain't gonna say who it was, but they told me they're like, "You've been doing it 3 years and you ain't made no progress yet. You should give up." And I was like, and like it got to me like, and I almost did. And then I was like, yeah. But like now, like talking to some other people in the like content creation space, they just said what you said. Like it does not take overnight. Like you gotta work for it.
Especially, and be original. Like I feel like everybody wants to be a copycat of something. I even fell into that at once upon a time. Like I was trying to. I felt like I noticed myself, like especially within the last few months, I was trying to fit into like the subsection of Twitter, talking out of pocket, being vulgar and all this stuff. And my mom, who was pretty much who like none of the stuff that I do now have been afforded to would not have been possible without her. She caught wind of it, and she was like Buster, because that was her nickname for me. Buster, you not you losing sight of what you're doing here. And I was like, what you talking about? I'm just having fun. She's like, no, 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 no. It's okay to have fun, but you don't have to lose sight of yourself, because if you ask yourself, if you 6 months ago, if who you were 6 months ago talk to who you're acting like now, he would literally look at you disgusted. And when she told me that, I was like, and then on top of the shitstorm with Twitter, like you pretty sure you caught wind of it. But with all that happened, I was like, yeah, I'm losing sight of who I am.
Yeah.
So I took a step back. Like if you notice, like I stopped saying certain keywords. I stopped saying certain things, because it's like this isn't who I am. I'm not this person. I'm not finna keep trying to fit in with these people who at the end of the day will throw you under the bus if they give it if at the slight of one inconvenience. So since since from September, the end of September to up to now, I've just been like, yo, if it ain't like jokes, if it ain't like I'm not, or if it ain't business, I'm doing my own thing. And so far so good. Like I haven't been in no scandals. Like some people, I was at a point where people were pulling podcast episodes that I was on down because they felt like I was bringing bad publicity. And then I'm like, I don't fault you for that, because I've done that before, where I've had a guest on and then they got into some shit, and then I just said, yeah, pull the episode. Like it's two episodes that I pulled recently from my show because I had a falling out with two people. And I'm like, I'm not finna keep you on, because that'd be phony to me. So I like, but so far so good. You ain't have to worry about getting canceled on your show or nothing for having me on, because I've been doing my own thing. I've been peace. It's been Gresh showing love, jokes and peace, because I'm like, I'm not. I've had people try to claim that they blocked me and then DM me or text me at 2:30 in the morning talking about something, and I'm like, who are you? So because my phone number was doxed in that whole situation, so I had to block a few people. But fortunately for me, I don't really like I don't let that stuff get to me, because at the end of the day, I know for a fact that people wouldn't say nothing to me to my face. So there's no point in bringing negativity to my piece. So it's like, if you block me, I block you back. Like that's how I am. Like if I find out you block me, I'm like, oh, let me block you back so you won't change your mind. That's my because I'm like, I don't do that wishy washy revolving door type beat. So
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
once I found myself like getting back on track, focusing on content, being my authentic self, catching the vibes and all that stuff, It's been easy peasy. Like the content is starting to pick back up. New episode of the podcast will be tomorrow night after NXT. Like it'll be a fun time.
Yeah, no, I remember when all that happened. I like reached out to you that day to be on the podcast, and then you reached out to me that night, and then I was like, "Hey, no offense, bro. I think we're gonna have to push this off." And you're like, "I understand, I understand." And I was like,
Yeah.
"All right." I was like, "As long as you understand." I didn't want to come off as rude or nothing,
No, no,
but
no, no. Like I would have did honestly, I would have did the same shit. Like honestly, because I was like, you kind of hot water right now. Like,
yeah,
and it's like I told people, like I even addressed it on Twitch that same week, and as well as my podcast the first day. I own up to that. Like that was me not reading the room. I was stupid, and the way that I responded to people reacting to me, I shouldn't have sunk into that wormhole because once you get called out on something, there's no amount of defense you can do that'll change people's perception of you. All you have to do is just you like, you know what, delete and just fall back. And that's what I had to do. Like, and I always tell people, like, because people come to me to this day, it's like, so the people who they don't mess with you no more. I'm like, no, and I'm not losing sleep over it either. Like, I genuinely don't care because it's like, because if you had a conversation with me to my face and you've known me, then you know that I'm not how people assume that I am. That was just you know how rumors started in like elementary school
yeah.
where someone would say one thing and then
Telephone.
yeah, it's a heliphone. That whole day was just a heliphone. Like I saw people saying that I'm a gaslighter. I abuse multiple women. It's multiple women out there. I'm like, my brother, my sister. No.
No, that rumor starting telephone game stuff can get crazy. This is a bit off topic, but like a few years back, I what's it called? I got prescribed Adderall, and then my aunt caught wind of it, and she took it as, "Oh, Jacob's taking Adderall for fun." And then we're at a family reunion, and she's like, "Yeah, Jacob looks clean. Looks like he hasn't been on Adderall in a while." And I was like, "Bro, what?" And like I have like family members coming up to me, like patting me on the back. They're like, "Hey, we're proud of you for being sober off Adderall." And I was like, "Yo, bro, I've never been on it. I never been on it. What are you talking about?" I was like, and like I went up to my aunt and I was like, "Yo, why you telling people I was on Adderall and that I was like an addict, bro?" She's like, "Oh, that's what I heard." And I was like, "No, no." I was like, "No, don't be telling people that, please." God damn.
They be out here trying to say you a crackhead.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to chill with my family, and I have people coming up to me like patting me on the back, congratulations, and I was like, "For what? Like, for congratulations to what, bro?"
Thank you. Congratulations for being 6 months clean. I'm like,
Yeah,
6 months clean of what?
yeah, no, and that's what I said. I was like, "Clean." I was like, "I ain't never done no drugs. What are you talking about, Aunt Patty?"
The only
Uh,
thing I've done was weed.
no, exactly. And like I was just so caught off guard. And like my cousins are all sitting there cracking up because they knew that was all lies. And they're like, "Yeah, our mom, she can take stuff the wrong way and start telling people stuff." I was like, "Yeah, she gotta get that in check because
mess, mess around and tell somebody I got 6 kids.
yeah."
That has happened to me before, where a family member thought I was babysitting my nephew, and they was like, "Yeah, that's Joshua's son." That's news to me.
Boy, I posted a picture on Snapchat this summer. Me and my girl, we were at Target and I like snapped a picture of like me and her and we were next to a baby crib, not thinking. And everyone like at work the next day, like, "Oh my god, so you're gonna be a dad?" And I was like, "Yo, what?" And they're like, "We seen that picture. You guys were looking for cribs and strollers." And I was like, "Nah, nah, we just found a mirror and we took a picture. It just so happened to be a crib back there." And motherfuckers were like, "Oh, you're gonna be a dad. You're gonna be a dad." I was like, "I ain't gonna be no dad. I ain't gonna be no father. Stop this. Knock that off."
We're not doing this. Not today.
No,
No,
like I started spazzing. I was like, "What?" I was like, "Unless she knows something I don't." Like,
and that's why I was like, you know what, like that's why I like whenever that shit happens, I just say, you know what, fall back because it's like rumors start flipping and then it's like what? And next thing you know, 20,000 people blocking you at one time, and you be like, I don't even know who you are. So why? What is happening? So nah, like I was hot water 2 months ago. I'm not in hot water no more. Like if people rock with me, they rock with me. If they don't, that's on them. Like I'm not I'm not out here harassing people. I don't even like DMs. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I get aggravated when people DM me after a certain time. I'm like, bro, I gave you my number. Text me, motherfucker.
Well, yeah, because I'll DM some people like you to be on the podcast or something like that, or like some of my close friends on Twitter. But
Yeah.
like if I gave you another way to contact me, whether it be my number, my Snapchat, my Facebook, something, do that because like my Twitter DMs, I don't check them. I'll see them whenever I'm like messaging a guest or something,
I
but
will
that's it.
forget, bro. Like when you had reached and asked me was I available last Monday, I swore to God I thought I replied. I thought I replied. I'm like, did I not reply? And then so happened to see it again. I was like, damn it, I did not reply to this man. What the fuck? My fault. So that's why I tell people like, yo, like one time my lady right now that I'm currently seeing, she was like, I DM'd you something. And I was like, did you? Did you really? I was like, you couldn't text me that? She's like, but I was on Twitter and I said, but you can copy the link and send me the text, the Twitter. But check your DM. I'm like, ma'am, I'm not going to check. What did you say? so, so it's like, you ain't got, like I had a like I have a I have a low with a Russell Wind on the show for Thursday. I'm gonna announce it tomorrow on Tuesday. But you'll like I already announced it, but I'll probably start plugging it Tuesday. And I was telling her, I was like, it's still some people hung up on that situation, and I don't apologize to everyone who I've offended and moved on from it, but they're still hung up on it. And she was like, "Yeah, that's wrestling Twitter." That's literally them. Like they bring up old shit, and it's like, why you bringing up old shit? I don't moved on. I'm in something genuine right now. Like I don't like that's that, and it's further proof that it's like this isn't this isn't who I am. Like who they're saying I am. Like I'm not out here tweeting and DMing random people. Like I'm not in people's like I'm literally just being myself on Twitter. So it's like if you're still and I don't like that's just me being me. Like I don't care who you are. And then this may piss some people off, but have you noticed it's always people who are older than us that got beef with us?
I had I had a 45-year-old man block me because he did not like my because I said something about comedy wrestling being good, and this man blocked me, and I was
That's
like, "Bro," I was like, "All I said is I like comedy." Like, old heads get crazy on Twitter, like they'd be blocking anyone, and like
that's
more power to you, but like, damn, bro.
like is it that deep? Like and then it's like you be blocking me, but you can literally subtweet me or you can slide in my dick. Like that's the thing about me. It's like if you got beef with me, if you have any type of beef with me, you can literally DM me. My DMs are open. Even if you're not following me, I'll come across your requests and I'll decide if I want to reply or not. But it's like you can and it's like, bro, you're coming up on your nearly 20-year high school graduation anniversary. Why are you beefing with a 29-year-old, my dog? I don't get it.
My favorite thing, bro, is I ain't gonna name names, but there's someone that isn't a fan of me or some shit. I back before I started the podcast, I used to
Join the
say
club.
dumb
There's
shit,
like 20 of us that don't have fans in here, man.
dude. Like because before I started the podcast, I used to drink and I would just spew the most bullshit ass stuff on Twitter. Nothing bad, just being a smartass. And like this person blocked me, and then I'm at a show and they came up to me, dapping me up, hugging me. How you been, man? How you been? And I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. And then, like I looked at my homie and I was like, they got me blocked, bro. I was like, they would like I don't know if they know they still have me blocked or what. And they're like, I haven't heard from you in a while. And I was like, yeah, bro, because you had me blocked.
You
Like,
blocked you blocked me, motherfucker. Like, and it's like I'm not the type of person that'll screenshot that I'm blocked. I'm the petty type of person that'll block you and make sure you don't change your mind. So even if we meet in person and we have a conversation, you can unblock me if you want to. I'm not gonna unblock you. I'll do it on my time.
the the funniest person to have me blocked, and to this day I do not know why they have me blocked, is fucking Adam Copeland, bro. he has like because when he debuted for AEW, I was trying to tweet at him and be like, "Hey, congrats!" Blah blah
Did you
blah.
say something about him in WWE?
I said Christian was better, I think.
That's probably
And
right.
I like, but like, because I like, I vanity searched. I typed in my name and I typed in Edge, and nothing but good things came up. And then I typed vanity searched like Christian, and then it was like, oh, Christian was always the better in the tag team or
I'm
some shit.
surprised he ain't blocked me because I said Sami Zayn had a better spear than him. So I'm
I
surprised. So I'm pretty sure it's probably something you probably accidentally liked and he saw it or he came
That's what
across.
I was gonna say. I know there's like a extension people get to like do a mass blocking if you like a tweet that they are involved in. Because I know Sean Ross Sapp used to do that. Like if you liked a tweet that involved him, he would just mass block that. Like, and that's what David Bixban or whatever he did to me. I accidentally liked a tweet and he blocked me, and I was like, damn man. Like, and like I don't stress it, but like at the same
I'm
time
pretty
I'm like,
sure because I remember on my one of my own accounts, JBL blocked me because I said something about him bullying Mauro Ronaldo. So he did like a mass block of everybody who mentioned that situation. He don't have me blocked now because I think the little account that he blocked me on has long gone been deleted because it was around the time I had a Gresh Digi Games
yeah,
Twitter
yeah.
and he blocked that account but not my main account. So I was like,
I remember when I started the podcast, I used to like if you notice I don't be talking shit on wrestlers as much no more just because like connections and all that. I made a
mm-hmm.
comment about a certain wrestler that is signed to AEW and I said he is a boring motherfucker. I would never watch his matches, this, that, and the other. And this was like 3 in the morning. I was just fired up. I was pissed off at something and I just took my anger out on like I seen like a clip of him. And I was like, this motherfucker's boring. He can't wrestle. Blah blah blah. Well, then bless his heart, Seahawk. He's been looking out for me ever since I started. He like DM'd me privately, and he was like, "Hey man," he's like, "You gotta delete that." And I was like, "What you mean?" He was like, "You might not want him on your podcast, but there's his peers. You might want his peers on your podcast, and then if they catch wind that you were talking shit, they might look at you the wrong way." And I was like, damn, you right. So like ever since I haven't like I just go to the private account for that now. I'm like I'm not gonna risk nothing.
No, I've had people block me because I'm cool with certain people. Like I don't know if you know Keeks from Public
Yeah,
Enemy
yeah,
Podcast.
yeah, yeah.
I'm cool with that crew, so I'm pretty sure I'm cool with her specifically. So I'm pretty sure Seahawk got me blocked because I'm cool with her now. They got their own little beef going on, so it's that's another situation where I'm like, I don't even know who you like. I don't know like people who block me. I'm like, I've never had a conversation with because I have wrestlers that I'm cool with, indie wrestlers and signed, and they always be like, "Yo, that was a funny tweet," or "That was funny," or whatever. So it's like, if you block me, that means you have beef with whatever. But nah, like I get it. Like I understand like not talking trash all the time because and I feel like some wrestling fans do go a little bit too far with how they talk. Like like even I'm like, even if I'm not even in the industry. Like I'm not even like cool with a lot of people in the industry. I'm cool with whoever want to be cool with me because it's like, hey, oh, you cool? Bet, whatever. But to go out of your way to talk mad shit about them, like to where you're just being it feels like you're attacking the person and not the character then you're going a little bit too far because like I don't want to give like bring up a situation like remember that podcaster that had beef with Alexa Bliss.
Very, very briefly. Very
Like I
briefly.
think and next thing I know, literally every wrestler known to man was just coming at that man. Like he like I'm like I forgot it. What is his name? I'm high at the moment, so names are literally so names are literally sorry. JD from NY. I believe that's his name.
Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. Now I remember that now. Because then
Like
she like tweeted at him or he said something about her and then she got on him and then everybody was on him.
like everybody. I'm like, what the hell? I think that was one of the first few times where I've seen every wrestler come at a non-wrestling personality. Well, it didn't matter if you were heel face. They just said, "Wait, what the hell you just say?" And I'm like, and then and I think I did see the clip. I was like, "Ooh, bro, I wouldn't have said that."
Yeah,
'Cause-
no, he is a prime example of just being negative to be negative views.
just so he
from
can get,
from yeah,
just
from
so he
what
can
I've
get the
seen.
money, just so he
Yeah,
can get the
because
money.
he's the type of dude that thinks any publicity is good publicity and all that. Like, I mean, and it works for him because people tune into his videos to see what he's got to say. I mean, same
Mhm.
with Cornette. I swear to this day, Cornette doesn't believe half the shit he says. He just
Oh no.
says it because he knows that his cult following's gonna tune in and be like, "Oh, what did he say about Orange Cassidy? What did he say about the Young Bucks?" And yeah,
So yeah, it's like I do be like I understand like why a lot of them are protective of like who they put in their circle, who they let joke or whatever. But one thing I will never do myself, like I will never put down anybody or try to blackball anybody unless you are really a shit person.
yeah, yeah.
Like what I mean by shit person, like you are out here making women or people in general uncomfortable. Like some of the shit that he says makes me uncomfortable to the point where I'm like, bro, I'm not even a wrestler, but I don't even want to be around you.
Oh yeah, oh
And
yeah,
s- and the sad thing is like I know I'm and the person he works with at House of Glory, Solid Monster, they're both from the same city. But I would gladly share a room with Solid Monster before I share a room with him because Solid Monster, even though he has his moments where he be like, bro, this shit sucks, but at least he's cool with it. Like he don't dig deep into you. So it's like and I use both of them as examples because it's like it's certain people that you just have to keep your guard up. And same thing goes with wrestlers. Like
oh yeah.
some wrestlers and wrestling fans, they don't know. Some wrestling fans don't know how to turn it off. Like there's a reason why my podcast is sports and not the main course is wrestling. But we're gonna have our football talk. We're gonna have our catching up before the intro drops. Because once that intro drops, it's strictly sports, sports, sports. But before the intro drops, we just chopping it up, vibing. If I'm high, then I go off the rails, and then I say, "Oh, let me get back on track, and then let's do the intro." But stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the reason why I did that is because I feel like a lot of wrestling fans make it bad to be a wrestling fan. I'm like I scroll Twitter every like I don't reply to everything. I have my moments where I reply. Like I wake up, send out my motivational quote that literally be hyping me up, but people be like, "Yo, this is helping me." But I'm like, take it, whatever. I do that, and then I'll be like, "All right, let's scroll Twitter," and I'm like, I stumble across TV Twitter. I stumble across football Twitter, NBA Twitter. I'm like, yeah, it's a good time. And then I come across wrestling Twitter, and I'm like, God damn it, son of a bitch. Why are y'all this way?
One of the best things I could have done was this summer was stay off Twitter as much as possible. Like I would get on, I would talk here and there, but like for the most part, ever since like the beginning of summer, because I used to be heavy on Twitter. I used to just post whatever, whenever, comment on everything, and like that just like and then like Apple sent out the screen time thing and it was like you spent X amount of hours on Twitter this week, and I was like, damn, that ain't good. I was like, that's like, cause some people just like they make Twitter a lifestyle, and I can't get with that.
Nah, like I fit the sweet spot. Like shout out to like once again, I'll shout them out again. Public Enemies podcast. They found the sweet spot and they literally tackled it. Like it's like, bro, when you mix wrestling with jokes, people come in droves. So that's why I do with Twitter. It's like I get my tweets off, tell a joke here and there. Like everything to me in my brain is wrestling related. Like everything is wrestling.
Yeah,
Like everything in a joke is a classic wrestling moment. So I'd be like, all right, bet. So I basically adopt their style and do my own thing. So that's why I'll always give them props and shout out because I'm like they literally hit the sweet spot for if you are a black wrestling fan in this community. Because it's like just tell your jokes, get your jokes off, and segue to get people to tune into your show whenever you do it. Like their segue is Dynamite, my segue is NXT. So
yeah,
it's like and I like, and if I look back at the numbers for both episodes that aired live, because last season was just pre recorded. This season I'm doing live, and I'll do the interviews pre recorded. So like I'm noticing, I'm like, yo, this is actually smart. So like I'll always give them props for that because they hit the sweet spot, and I'm pretty sure it's people who probably been doing it longer than them. Like I've only known them for like 2 years now, so it's like who knows? Like, I'm pretty sure whoever was the originator of that genre is of being a content creator in Twitter, in the cesspool that is Twitter. So like, I'll always give them props for that. But that's a smart thing to do. It's like, if you're not telling your jokes, get off Twitter. Like, bro, it's so many. Like this morning, I came across so many idiotic tweets where people was victim bashing Kiki Palmer for getting abused, to people blaming saying women the only thing women add is body parts, but they take away your piece. I'm like, bro, law the fuck off, man.
Yeah. No, the best thing about Public Enemies is I forget they're a podcast half the time, and they're doing something good when they do that. Whenever I'm like looking at their tweets, I'm like, "Damn, this is a good account." And I'm like, "Oh shit, they do got a podcast," and that's how they get a lot of their like views and all that because they be making those jokes, and everyone's like, "Oh damn, these motherfuckers are funny." And
So
then
they, yeah, they follow
right under their tweet, they posted their
like
link or whatever, and
mhm.
like because like you were saying, I don't know who the originator of that genre was, but they're definitely on top of that genre.
Yeah,
Like
that's what I'm
they're
saying. They're geniuses. Like, it could, because it could have been them. It could have been someone older than, I don't know. But that is a smart tactic. Like, it's like, okay, say a joke, do whatever. If it pops up, because like I get a few tweets that reached 100K or 100 or 400K views and interactions and all that stuff, and I'm like, oh shit, let me put a link to whatever, and then that gets traction, and then people click on it, and then people follow. Like, I have people constantly hit me like, bro, your podcast is so chill. It's like a conversation. Like, I feel like you, like, I'm at the table just talking with y'all, and I'm about to insert when y'all talking about this, and I'm like, hey, that's the only vibe. It's just like, we're not out here trying to be no news and rumors bullshit. We're not out here trying, like, we're hearing the rumor, like when like NXT going to the CW and NWA fumbling the bag. Like, we'll joke about that, but we're not out here like saying our word is law. Like, bro, we are, at the end of the day, we are sports fans that just so happen to watch wrestling in that genre. So it's not like we're not out here like putting on a gimmick. We're not out here like trying to pop the boys in the back or none of that bullshit that they be saying. It's just a dude like yours truly, just a wrestling fan that's just out here vibing and having a good time. And if I happen to meet good people, that's a bonus. And that's all you can do. And if you're not doing that, then I don't know what the hell you're doing.
My favorite thing is whenever I get like people that are on TV on and people are all like, "Oh, try to get some scoops," and I'm like, I don't care about no scoops. I'm trying to figure out like
Bro,
just who they are outside of wrestling.
if
Like,
you watch my interview with Jay Bougie, he was MLW. I not the only thing I asked him was, I was like, okay, so how did you like what was your journey like getting into
yeah,
wrestling? That's all I wanted to know. Like, I didn't want to like, hey, what's Alex Kane's like when is he gonna drop the title? Like, is he gonna drop the title? Like, what is he like backstage? And I'm like,
yeah,
no.
like
I'm like, no, I want to know about you, bro. Like, and like, we talked about his kid. Like, he's a new dad. I think his kid is like 3 months now, 3-4 months. I talked about the importance of his partner being a part of his character. Like, I asked those type of questions, and I feel like that's what you should ask. Like, that's why it's like, I appreciate the people that I had in my circle that tell me, they was like, if you do get into the interview space, you don't interview them about, like, if you want people to like you don't interview them about what their occupation. So if I'm interviewing a plumber, I'm not going to ask him about plumbing. I'm gonna ask him like, what's your favorite sport? What's your, like, in this case, I'm interviewing a wrestler. I'm like, okay, so what are you into? Video games? All right, what's your favorite video game? Like, what did you think about Smash? Like me and Jay, if you listen to me and Jay Boozie's conversation, he didn't know, he thought Hulk Hogan was black because of that tan. Because it's like, that's how, and I'm like, I can judge him because I'm like, bro, I thought Hulk Hogan was black because of that tan, because he was so black. He was so burnt like a overcooked loaf of bread. So I'm like, yo, when I found out there was other complexions like me, I'm like, bro, you ain't black, you white. So that's the type of conversation that I be having with wrestlers. Like, I've had Ruthless Lala, she's an independent wrestler on there. Like, we literally talk about everything else but wrestling, to the point where she was, I think she tried to be in character one time and she dropped the belt because we talked about something else. And she was like, oh shit, I was supposed to do. And she texted me, she was like, yo, She's like, yo, I was supposed to be in character, but I forgot. I was like, cause you we was just laughing. I'm like, hey, my fault. So
I
like,
rem-
you said what?
I had Charles Mason on. He's gonna fucking hate that I'm saying this. I had I had Charles Mason on, and in the middle of the interview, I forgot how the office got brought up. But this man like started like if you know Charles Mason, he's like a very dark guy. He starts like
Hmm.
laughing or not laughing, but like breaking out of his shell talking about the office, and then he like
Hmm.
snapped right back into it. And when we were off there, he's like, I don't know how you did it, but you had me talking about The Office. He's like, that's impressive, dude. And I was like, thanks. And then like Alan Angels, I had him on right after he left AEW, and I brought up the departure because that was a hot topic. And but other than that, I didn't ask. And then we spent like 20 minutes talking about scary movies and Halloween time. And like, I want people to know when I have these wrestlers on, I want them to know who they are outside of wrestling. Like
Hmm.
because they are people too. Like and people think that
Unless they
like
ask us, like, hey, can I do this in character?
yeah, and
Then
that's my
I'll
first question.
like, cause what I'll do is like, this is what I did with Chris Denker, Chris Danger. He just
Yeah,
did
yeah,
his
yeah.
he just made his wrestling debut for DPW last night, and I believe it'll probably drop Saturday.
Yeah,
Um,
Saturday.
so I had him on the show, and I was like, hey, I want to talk to you, the person, but do you want to? And he was like, but do you want to do the Chris Danger gimmick because that's a trending topic. And I was because he came to me, I was like, hey, I just want to talk to you. He's like, hey, so I was on a video with Deontay DDJ, and he was like, I was in character for most of it, and then I went into just myself. He said, do you want to interview me that way? I was like, sure. I mean, I can do that. And then I think we started off with him. And then I said, "Hey, can I hear from Chris Danger right quick?" And he's like, "Oh, you want to talk to him?" And then he went into character, and then he did not break character for like 5 minutes, and then he got out of character. He's like, "Bro, that was hard as hell," because he was like, "Bro, he was like, I was literally about to make this man break character in the middle of the conversation." I was like, so what I like it was like I literally had to watch the raw footage back because it didn't make the cut. Certain things didn't make the cut,
Yeah,
but yeah, it was a good time. Like whenever wrestling or personalities that are in the industry, because I brought that up because he's practically in the industry now because he's literally a trained wrestler now. So it's like when you get that type of stuff where you can break someone to get someone to almost break character, that means you're doing a good thing because you don't come off as like I know that I hate the term because it feels so cheesy. Every old retired wrestler says it. You don't come off as a mark. You come off as a chill dude. So if you're a chill dude, they always gonna like it got to it's to the point now where I'm literally in people's DMs and they just be sending me like, "Yo, what you think about this? What you think about this? Like, did you like this? Can you retweet this? And like, did you?" And I'm like, "Bro, I'm not even in the industry, but yeah, I trust your word because you're a cool dude." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." So it's like if you're a cool person, then then the rest of us will feel comfortable around you. Don't be weird.
no, definitely. And like, I've had what's it called? I've had guests. Don't get me wrong, where I felt awkward during the conversation and all that because that just comes naturally with just talking to people in general. But like, if you sit there and you're like, so during this match, were you supposed to do this or was that a botch? Like, I hate when people ask that type of stuff. Like, oh, when you botched this move, what was going through your head? I'm like, don't be asking them that. Like, because I'll like whenever I have them on, like when I first initially hit them up, I'm like, yo, do you want to be in character? Do you want to do a shoot, work shoot? What's going on here? But I will never straight up like I don't know, like I'm not gonna ask like too many insider stuff. Be like, oh, so how was Tony Khan to deal with? Did you and Tony Khan get in arguments about who's gonna win this match? Like I just because that just comes off as like you're looking for scoops, and that's I'm not an insider. I'm not an
And
insider.
I've told a lot of wrestlers, I'm like, I ain't gonna lie to you. If unless you bring it up, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And they always bust out laughing because I don't care about news and rumors. I'm not your Dave Meltzers. I know about these people. I know about these rumors, and it catches because that's the thing about Twitter for you. It comes across my timeline, and I see it, and I'll be like, "Why the fuck do we need to know this? Why do we need to know that that Ricochet was concussed and kicked and messed up the ending of that triple threat or that fatal four way last week? Why do we need to know that? Just let us assume that was they improvised and call it a day. Like I don't need to know all this certain stuff. So it's like you're not gonna see me out here like it's literally people on social media and in on YouTube that literally makes it their business to talk about ratings. The only ratings I give a shit about is my bank account going up or down.
My my dad, he just got home. He's probably gonna hear me say this, but he'll like bring up like ratings, like when NXT and AEW one had that. He's like, "Oh, did you see the ratings?" And I was like, "I seen the ratings, but I don't give a fuck." I was like, I and posted the greatest thing ever the other day when he posted that video of like the fans cheering at a wrestling show, and he's like, "Me and the boys, whenever our wrestling show hits the key demo in 18 to 45," and just put all this like ratings talk. And I was like, I don't like. He's making fun of them, and I love it because I hate when people bring up ratings. I
Dang,
hate it.
especially when you're not on payroll. That's
Well,
that's the
like
thing.
in
Unless
my
you
go,
employed, then you shouldn't care.
my thing about ratings is ratings don't mean jack shit nowadays. Everything's on streaming services. Everybody's watching that shit illegally. Like I don't buy into pay per view buys either. Like when people are like, "Oh, that was a bad pay per view. You see how many buys they get?" I'm like, "Yeah, but you know how many people are on watch wrestling watching it? Like
They're just not gonna
people
pay $50 every month.
like, yeah, like, that's like I hate telling my dad this. I'm like, well, back in your day that might have mattered, but nowadays that shit don't matter. I was
Oh
like,
yeah, oh nah, like pay-per-view buys and encore numbers that matter. That stopped mattering in like 2012,
yeah,
2013 when
when the
streaming started.
network came out, when the
That's
network came
not.
out,
It didn't matter. Like that's what I'm saying, and it doesn't matter to me because like people will always ask my opinions, like, "Yo, Grush, what you think about NXT beating AEW, or in this case, on this upcoming Friday, what you think about SmackDown uh beating AEW Collision?" And I'm like, "Congrats to them, I guess. I don't
I,
care."
I have a friend. He does not understand that you can like AEW, WWE, Impact, MLW. He does not understand you can watch all that shit and enjoy it all. Like we'll be watching, I'll go over to his house, we'll be watching like a pay per view or something, and he'll be like, "Oh, this is why WWE's beating AEW." I'm like, "Well, no, the reason WWE is beating AEW is because they had a 60-year fucking head start, bro." Like,
They've been around since the 60s, 40s,
yeah.
30s.
But then he'll like bring up like Raw, like he'll get into like about Raw and SmackDown. I'm like, you are not Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis. You do not need to be caring about like which brand's better, bro. Like you need to chill out. Like you gotta calm down here, bro.
They, I don't like. I try, and that's the thing. Like the first incarnation of the Gresham Leaks podcast was all into that. But if you listen back to it, I purposely deleted all that footage because it was just that bad. I'm like, I listen back. I'm like, bro, I sound lifeless as a motherfucker. Like I sound like I'm a robot because I was trying to be something that I was not. I was finding my footing. So now with the show now, it's like I'm gonna tell you this right now. I don't watch everything. I try to, but I don't. I watch WWE by default because I've been watching that since I was a toddler. So it's a habit to watch Raw, SmackDown, and I watch NXT and I watch AEW. I watch Impact now. So it's like I'm watching it. I won't cover it until Hard to Kill because I want to start fresh
Yeah,
when it's TNA. And I tried to watch MLW, but their network is so hard to get, and I don't want to. And the only way I can get it is if I get Sling TV, and I don't want another streaming service. I already got YouTube TV. So it's like it's so much. That's the thing. It's like the wrestling business is so populated. Whether you're a fan of non WWE or WWE, it's like you can watch whatever you want. Like I watch both. Like, and then that's the thing is if something was born that week to me, I won't talk about it on my show. I'll talk about something else.
yeah, yeah. I the biggest thing.
And
And
that
I
was, and the reason why I said that is because there's so many people out here that they feels like just because you have a podcast, you have to watch all things wrestling. You don't.
no, my biggest regret was when I started this is I tried integrating a like a segment where I reviewed Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and all that,
Mhm.
and like that becomes a chore. And wrestling for me is a hobby, and I should not make that a chore. This podcast for me, it's a hobby. I should not have to be like going out of my way and like lifelessly watching these programs. Like, cause I did a for a 2 month stretch. I was reviewing the pay per views, the Raws, the Smackdowns, and all that. And like listening back on them, you just hear me, and I'm like, and in this match, so and so did this, blah blah blah. And I'm like, that's just not entertaining. Like,
Nah. So
it's
what I
not.
do, so basically what I do is I do one live show. I start off with football talk. Then I go into an either or segment to where it's like we create a scenario like, would you take this or would you take this, just to have fun, to set the tone. And then we talk about NXT because it's fresh after NXT, so we're gonna talk about it. Obviously,
Yeah,
we'll start off with NXT. Then we talk a little bit about Raw, like anything highlight that happened on Raw. We'll talk about that, and then we'll preview AEW, and then we get the fuck up out of there.
yeah,
That's literally it. Because it's like, bro, it's Tuesday. The only thing people watch is NXT. We're gonna mention Raw. We may mention SmackDown if something big happens that'll have something to do with the upcoming pay-per-view, which in this case is Survivor Series. And then I believe tomorrow we'll be previewing Full Gear because that's Saturday. Because
yeah.
we plan on watching it Saturday. If I did not plan on watching Full Gear, we would not review it. So that's what I'm saying. If we don't, it's like that's the thing. People feel like just because you have a podcast, you're obligated to watch it. The reason why podcasts like the Deadlock Podcast, their bread and butter is retro reviews. They used to review AEW weekly, but when they said they when they felt like they was getting bored with reviewing it every week, they just stuck with the retro reviews. It started popping off right there. It's like once you find your niche and there's an audience for retro scenes because there's still a lot of wrestling fans that want to talk solely about the WWF, WCW, and ECW. Once you find your niche, stick with it. In my case, we talk about the current wrestling, but my niche is the either or the sports talk because I feel like everybody. That's when I look at the views because it's my shit, so I have to pay attention to the analytics. People like it when we talk about other stuff, and then they stick around a little bit for the wrestling talk. If
Yeah,
if it's something that like NXT going into the CW, so it's like that's the thing. It's like once you find your niche and your audience, stick with it and keep pushing. That's it. Like you don't have to force yourself to watch everything. You don't have to force yourself to pay attention to ratings because you're not on payroll, and you don't have to force yourself to be a certain character just so people can like you and be
yeah.
fans of you. Like, bro, just be yourself. You good?
I heard someone say he's doing his podcast. I'm just waiting to see if they're gonna walk in here. Uh, no, but going back to the niche or whatever niche, like the craziest niche I found was I did not think there would be like a big following for it, but was WWECW, like the 2006 revival, because me and my friend Cody, bless his heart, I made a tweet. I was like, "Yo, who wants to start a WWECW podcast with me?" And he's like, "Me." And I was like, "Damn, I was not expecting somebody to jump on it." And we did it for like probably 7 or 8 episodes in, but like the views were getting bigger and bigger, and I'm like, damn, people really fuck with WWE CW. And then like it just got like how you said, like for the Deadlock dudes, how it just got boring for them to watch, and that's why I stopped or whatever. But I was like, if I would have what's it called, like was motivated to watch that shit each and every week and review it each and every week, that could have been like, because to my knowledge, there's not a single podcast like that out there, and
No.
that's what Tiger Driver Chris told me. He told me when I started it, he was like, my favorite thing about you is he's like, you are the most original, like he's like, I don't know how nobody came up with a name A Man in his podcast yet. He's like, you're the only one out there with that name. He's like, nobody's doing that. No one's doing uh a WWECW podcast. He's like, do not change what you're doing.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, and I'm catching wind of it too, and I'm like, bro, yeah, you're doing it. Just be yourself, and just push it out there. Like if I wanted to, like if I had the time, like I'm always traveling, so it's like what I did was because I already told people closest to me I'm pretty sure 2K24 when that game drops will be my last time doing video gaming content on the channel full time. Like I'll still do it. Like I'm slowly merging, like flipping my content to where I do like passive play. Like I did a passive play review on AEW Fight Forever. Remember that game? Um, I did a passive play on that one, and that one did some numbers. So I was like, okay, if I can, because I'm not saying I'm getting bored with it. I'm getting slightly annoyed and done with 2K games as far as like their creative side, like with the all that stuff. So instead of me getting irritated, I'm just going to stop doing it full time. So what I started doing was I started uploading retrospectives. Like I've already released a retrospective on Mike Awesome and Spike Dudley's feud in ECW, the original ECW. I've already did a I feel like what I feel like is a forgotten hidden gem, which is the 2009 Chris Jericho versus Rey Mysterio Luchas de Puertas. I feel like a lot of people don't really like review it or talk about it or praise it. So I did that a video on that one. And the last one I did was the match that it's funny how I saw the sequel but not the original was the Ilya Dragunov versus Walter match from NXT UK, the first one during 2020. I,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
never saw that match. I saw the sequel at Takeover, but I never saw that first one. I was like, I'll just do a video. And it's like the way that I'm going, especially in 2024. I'm gonna start it off in December because I want to do because I was going to do a TNA month where I did like a retro review on certain episodes of or certain scenarios for TNA, and it's like I'm gonna start for I know for sure 2024 I'm going to eventually start doing more retrospectives because that'll tie in with the what you call it with the podcast. So it's a lot of plans that I feel like doing, and I think more so with me with age because I feel like I'm finna be 30, and it's like I'm not my interests have slightly shifted, and one thing I don't ever want to do is force myself to do something just because that's I feel like that'll hurt my creativity. So yeah, 2K, you got one more year of me, and then I'm out. I'm done. I'm retiring.
No, yeah. I bought, what are we on, 23 now? I bought 23 when I got my PS5, and I was like, oh, let's get into this, let's see it. And then I was like, damn, dude, the creation suite's the same thing from the past years. I was like, I don't know. And then
Once you
like
play it for so long, you get annoyed to the point where it's like, all right, I'm done with this. Like nothing's changing.
Fight Forever, I was gonna buy that game, but I went over to my friend's house, thankfully, and he had it. And he's like, "Yo, you want to play Fight Forever?" I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's play it." And I played like 3 matches, and I was like, "That's all I'm good for." I was like, "If I would have bought this game, I would have been pissed off that I would spent this money." I played 3 matches, put the controller down, and I was like, "Let's play something else. Turn on fucking NBA, Madden, fucking MLB, even. I don't care." Like,
Nah, because it's funny because I still haven't finished their story mode. I just got bored with the repetitive matches. I was like, this is
yeah,
getting
that's
boring.
what I heard. That's what I heard. That's the one thing I did like about this year's 2K game is the lock my rise. That was fun, but then right when it started getting like really fun, they just fucking cut the cord and ended it. And I was like, bro, what?
Like,
And
what are
then
you doing? It's like I feel like the ending was rushed as hell.
me and my brother think that they're gonna add on to it next year. I hope they do. I hope they add on to it next year. If they do that, that might get me to buy the game. If they don't, I
If
think I
they
might
do
just
the
sit it
whole,
out.
if I say if they do a whole new story, I'm gonna be like, bro, can y'all just? And I feel like they need to get rid of showcase mode. Like, I don't give a shit about showcase mode. I don't make
What
content on it.
what was
It
the
was
showcase mode
John
this year?
Cena, John Cena,
Yeah,
and
the last
they didn't even do a lot of matches in that one.
no, there was like 8, and like no offense to them, but like they could have chose way better matches. The matches they chose were kind of like these
Recent.
are cool. Yeah, I'm like these are good, but like why are we doing a match from 2020? Like let's do. I want to see him versus JBL in that I Quit match. I want to be able to run John through that glass with the giant fucking thing
I
from the
feel like
truck.
they did. I feel like it's like they're putting all their researchers in showcase mode. I'm like, bro, if you're gonna, and then they half-assing it, like where they like remember back in like WWE 13 or something or SmackDown versus Raw, they used to give us cut scenes. They're basically they start off the cut scene, then they switch to archive footage, and I'm like, bro, this is
Yeah,
basically the WWE network. I can just go watch it on the network.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, why am I playing this game right now? And it's like, and then I can't control it, so I'm literally watching the cutscene, and I'm like, this is probably cool for a kid, but I'm like, bro, so you don't really give a shit about your adult fans? Like that's what you're telling me? Because if that's the case, I can just take my resources, my money somewhere else. Like
Yeah.
let's just cut the shit. Like I just not, and then they be hiding shit behind the mode, so you're stuck playing it until you unlock it. So I'm like, oh my god, 2K. It's like that, and that's the thing with me. It's like I'm not finna continue to be frustrated because nothing is going to change. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pivot my content to where it's going to make me feel good to what I'm putting out. Like I'm not gonna keep putting my name to half-ass content. Like I feel like this video that I'm about to drop is gonna basically reopen my creativity because I'm not going the way that I used to do. So that's why I'm like, as long as and that's why I feel like 2K is getting stagnant with. It's like, bro, 2K24, y'all gotta convince me. Like I don't give a fuck about no my faction. I don't give a fuck about no showcase mode. And if it's not a fun game, don't expect me to keep promoting your game. I'm probably gonna do one pass or play video and then be done with it.
My favorite showcase mode they did, and I cannot tell you a single showcase mode after it that I played, was the 30 years to WrestleMania.
Oh
That
yeah,
shit
2K. That
was
was that
that was
was THQ.
14.
That was
Yeah.
THQ. That was THQ's final thing before 2K bought it out because 2K14 doesn't even count as 2K. It's only
No.
2K by name.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
basically THQ. It's basically WWE 14, but 2K put it because they bought the rights to it.
Yeah.
So
No,
nah.
I what's it called? I'll play that mode every few months. Me and my brother will hook up the PlayStation 3, dig into it, play it, and then like I was at a friend's house, we played it. But then the other night, I ate an edible and I was like, "What do I watch?" And then I was like, "Oh, I know what I'm gonna watch." I watched the New Legacy Inc.'s fucking 30 years of WrestleMania stream they did. That was like 5 hours, and I was like, "Damn, like nobody does it like New Legacy Inc.
Oh
Man."
no, shout out to them like Johnny, Drip, all them people. Like not Drip. I'm saying Drip. I'm thinking about somebody else. Slip.
I was gonna say I only know of Johnny from New Legacy. I know the Deadlock crew. I know Tony, Pulse, and
Tony
Johnny.
Posey. Yeah, it's a whole crew behind New Legacy. Like it's a whole bunch of them. Like I believe
Yeah.
I think they followed me right when I first started. Right around that one time they first started. So it's like I always see that they're live and all that stuff. Um Duel. I said Drip. Johnny and Duel. Like if you hear Johnny, you hear Duel. So
Yeah.
yeah, like I'm saying, like it's a whole bunch of them. Like that whole crew is they're having fun. Like that's why whenever they do like charity streams, I'm always in there and just and donating because I'm like you guys are genuine with it. Like and that's who you surround yourself with. It's like you surround yourself with genuine people, not snakes that'll try to backstab you when they have no use of your friendship. I'm talking about genuine dudes that will always uplift you. And if shit hits the fan, they'll pull you to the side like, hey, bro, chill out. So it's like if you got some good people like that, you keep them around. If you don't, push push them away. Push them away because you don't want to mess up your name for somebody else's bullshit. So
So you brought up New Legacy following you. Has there been someone that has followed you or like they know of you? You were like, oh shit, like you know of me type of deal. You know what I'm saying?
I've had a few wrestlers follow me for some reason, and I'm like, how do you know me? And they be like, I see your tweets or whatever, and you're a funny dude. Like I had Top Dollar, Trinity, Naomi, I forgot who else. Who else followed? Like it's literally like that's the thing about me. I don't like you have some wrestling fans that be like, oh, such and such follow me. If you follow me, I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Like I've had wrestlers that'll be like, how do you know me? And then when if I retweet what they say and they'll DM me and be like, hey, what you like about this? I'm like, yo, this shit was fire. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying this because you're a wrestler. I'm like, yo, this is fire. Like I don't say, and I tell them this all the time. Like I don't say this to just anybody. If it was terrible, I'd be like, yeah, that wasn't your best work, my dog.
I think
So you said what?
go on.
No, but you
What were
said
you gonna say?
no. I was
No,
just
I
saying.
think
Yeah, yeah, we're good. You're good.
no. The craziest, what's it called? Like is when people call me Squints when they know me as Jake, but they call me Squints or something. But there was like one time I was at a bar after a wrestling show, and I'm like leaving, I'm hugging the promoter, I'm like, all right, peace out, dog, great show tonight, and I'm like walking out the door, and I hear Jake something yell, "Hey, see you later, Squints." And I turned around like like Bret Hart walking out for that one video, and I like
Like,
turned around and I was like, "See ya, Jake." And I like went out to my friend's car and I was like, "There's no shot Jake something just called me Squints." And he was like, "What do you mean you're Squints?" And I was like, "No, there's no shot that this man knows who I am." And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like that one just like blew me away. I was like, "What the?"
I always laugh when people try to they be swarming me up and down that I'm cosplaying as Jonathan Gresham's relative.
Dude, I'm glad you brought that up. I forgot what tweet it was. You made a tweet over summer, and it was like it wasn't out of pocket, but it
Was
was
it the
something.
was it the was it the Randy Orton may be straight but that RKO bisexual?
Yes, my friend, my friend, my friend messaged me and he's like, "Yo, did you see what John Gresham posted?" And I'm like going through Jonathan Gresham's Twitter, and I'm like, "All I'm seeing is him hyping up shows. What are you talking about?" And then he sent me what's it called? He sent me a screenshot of that tweet, and I was like, "No, man, that's Josh." I was like, "That's not Jonathan Gresham." And they're like, "Oh shit, I thought that was John." And I was like, "No, that ain't man."
It I told John J Bougie because his name is John too, so I try not to say both of them. But I told J Bougie and I was like, bro, they see J-O and Gresham and just stop reading because my name clearly says Joshua Gresham and Gresh in parentheses because it's funny. My original stage name was not Gresh. It was literally Mr. HSR Show. I don't
Yeah,
know where that name came from. I just said because it was around the time where I didn't really give a shit. And then a friend of mine was like, "Yo, Gresh," and I was like, "You mean Gresham?" He's like, "No." I'm like, I said, He's like, "Yeah, I always call you Gresh because I keep forgetting. Like, I know other Gresham, so I just call you Gresh." And I'm like, "Gresh, huh? I'm gonna take that." And he's like, "All right, bet." So that's where my name came from. Like, and my name wasn't always Gresh on YouTube. It's like I think I changed my name to Gresh officially in like 2016, 17. So from 2009 to like 2015, I was Mr. HSR Show, or some foreign name that I found on Google Translate that I thought it was cool. I think it was Kajuji. Like I changed my name to that briefly for like a year, but I settled on Gresh. So, but no, I told Jay Bougie this. I was like, bro, I've never met him. I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to cosplay as a
yeah,
relative. Bro. Like we just so happen to have the same last name. We're from Atlanta, but I always find it, and it's like people believe me when I tell them. I'm like, bro, the way my family is set up, I would genuinely not be surprised if he was a cousin
yeah.
because my grandfather was a little loosey goosey in the pants. Like if you had a if you had a heartbeat, he was fucking you. I'm telling you that right now. If you had a heartbeat and some nice boobies, he was fucking you. So it wouldn't surprise me. Like I'm literally like my mom and my sister doing ancestry and all that shit. They literally find new cousins every other day. That's why I said I'm going to take the ancestry and do it like a bloodline trace because I do not want to mess around and smash my cousin because there's cousins everywhere. If not on my mom's side, it's on my father's side. There's literally relatives everywhere. So and I'm like, bro, and I've had too many horror stories from my cousins and my mama and my sister and my uncle where they was like, we had a cousin that like we had a family reunion. Our cousin had sex with our other cousin, but they didn't know they was cousins at the time. And I'm like, how close a cousin? And no, and then my uncle was like, how close of a cousin were they? I was like, bro, that don't matter. They're cousins. So that's why I'm like, I would not be surprised if John Gresham is my actual blood cousin because my and I could say my government, but I have two last names, but my last name ends with Gresham.
Yeah, yeah.
So so it's like I I, I, I wouldn't be surprised if we're related. But one thing you ain't got to worry about me is I'm not out here cosplaying. I'm doing my own thing. I'm not out here saying, "What's up, cousin?" I
Yeah.
Now,
You're
not once will you say, "What's up, cousin?" Like I've had people literally mention or act Jordan Grace because they assume that I'm still John. And I'm like, bro, my name is, I'm like, why are you tagging this woman in my tweets? I don't even know her.
They're tagging her. Hey, come get your man.
Like, they're like, hey Jordan, you see what your man said? I'm like, bro, that ain't my woman.
No, that's that.
My
That's
woman is
hella.
my woman is either next to me or in Boston. Like no, that is not my woman. Like what you doing? Like don't be mentioning her.
I am dead, bro.
These
Bro,
jokes,
what you
these
gotta do?
jokes.
You gotta put an octopus in your bio just to trip people out and be like, no, that's just my favorite animal. Like, why you tripping, bro?
Like I'm gonna create I'm gonna create a t-shirt and be like, yeah, I'm no for Halloween next year. I'm gonna dress up as an octopus and be like, hey, what's up, y'all?
Show up to TNA's offices in Nashville and be like, yo, can I get comped? I'm a Gresham. Can I get comped real quick? No, no, my dude, this is so funny. My shoot last name's Noble,
Yeah.
and growing up, I lived in a trailer park. Jamie Noble, his gimmick was a trailer park. Whenever I was in like third grade, motherfuckers thought Jamie Noble was my dad because we had the same last name and we lived in a trailer park. And I was like, that's not the case, bro. I was like, one, that last name's not his real last name. Two, no, just because we both live in a trailer park does not mean we're related, bro. Like that has nothing to do with this.
That's why I always tell people, I'm like, bro, we are not I'm not that type of wrestling fan where I found out that I have the same last name as a wrestler because I didn't find out about John Gresham until 2019, 2018 because I never watched ROH during the pandemic
Yeah.
before the pandemic or nothing. So it was like I'm like my name is Joshua Gresham, blah 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 blah, and it was like, are you Jonathan? I'm like, I think he blocked me at one time because he thought I was cosplaying as him, and I'm like, and then once I started like finding like learning learn teaching getting friends with certain wrestlers that knew him, they was like, no, that's not him. He's not cosplaying. That's literally his last name. I've seen his birth certificate. Like I showed people, I'm like, bro, this is my birth certificate. My mom's name is Gresham. My father's name is Patterson. My name is Gresham. So it's like there's no cosplaying. I'm not playing. And it's like plus I'm taller. So there's that. I'm if I want to be Jonathan Gresham, I have to get on my knees, bro. Like, no, we're not doing that. Like, nah, nah,
I'm dead.
nah.
So this last segment I do with all my guests is sponsored by Poddex. Poddex.com is I don't already forgot the ad read. Poddex.com is a interactive deck of cards that you can get physical or online, and they have interactive questions for you to ask your guests. Go ahead and use code Squints for 10% off your first purchase. Uh, I don't see none of that money because I forgot my login to the website, but I got this sponsorship like 3 years ago, and I just use it just because it's a great tool for other fucking content creators. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna name off 3 or 4 different decks of cards, and I'm gonna let you choose what deck of cards you want me to dig into.
All right, bet. Let's do it.
The first one, hmm,
Mm-mm.
there's a lot of interesting ones that I've never dug into, but I feel like you're an open book that will.
Oh yeah, I don't care because I don't care if people judge me with my answer because
All right.
they can't whoop my ass.
The first deck of cards is dating life. The only reason I suggest that one is because I feel like that's how you ended up following me because you see me fucking complaining about my dating life. The second one is what's out there, and it's just about space. And
Okay.
then college life, just college life questions.
Mm.
Which one you want to dig into?
My college life wasn't really that interesting. Like I literally was in and out, like because I took a year off. I mean, a year straight, and I got my degree within a year instead of the typical 4. So, let's do the dating because I'm an open book. I don't care. Let's do the first one, which is, I believe that's the dating.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that one. Yeah, I don't care. Ain't nobody gonna judge me. My lady probably will, but that's a different story. Uh-oh.
Let me
I
pull
heard
it
I
up.
heard I'm like, oh Lord. Got me a little nervous. Not really.
Okay. Damn, these aren't what I thought they'd be. What is something you have tried really hard to like for a partner, but you just could not enjoy it?
um, brunch. I don't give a shit about brunch. Like I've been to a few brunches. I'm like I've literally had partners where it was like, let's go to a brunch, and I'm like, bro, I don't care. I don't care. I don't get, and it's probably because I don't drink. Like I just smoke. So it's like they probably, and it's like unless they have a smoking session where they have different strands of weed, then we ain't got nothing. Like I don't really see myself. So it's typically brunch that I'm really a fan of. Oh, and random walks. Like she was like, "Let's go
Not.
walk. Let's go walk." Like I had a woman that was like, "Let's go walk," and I'm like, "Where are we going to? We're going to the store. We got the car right there." No, I just want to walk, get some fresh air and chat. All right,
No, so when me and old girl, it was her last day before she moved. She's like, "What do you want to do before like I leave?" And I was like, "I don't know. Like it's summertime. Let's go to a park or some shit." I'm thinking like, "Oh, that'll be romantic. Let's walk around the fucking pond or some shit." Dude, we made it halfway around this pond. We're getting bit up by mosquitoes. We're all hot and sweaty, and I'm like, let's head back to your car for real. I was like this. I was like, I've seen movies where this was cute, and I thought we were gonna be holding hands, enjoying our time, but both our hands are sweaty. We're getting bit up. I'm getting
irritated. Like
irritated. Let's just get back to your car real quick.
that's it. And it's like I feel like with that'll be more romantic if it was like around this time, which is
Yeah.
probably like it's not too hot, but it's also not too cold either. So it's like the sun is out, you can still walk on it. It's not like there's no like I was outside earlier when I got here, and it was literally just a breeze. Like it was a smooth breeze, and I'm like, oh, this is nice. I can relax in here. I probably clap some cheeks in here too. You never know.
No, dude, it was so fucking like because like our thing was me and her used to just walk around like we were bored. I'd be like, oh, let's go to Target, let's go to the mall, and like in my head, walking around the park would be the same way as it. But then I forgot that fucking Target and the mall have air conditioning. They don't got bugs. You can buy some shit there. The
Walk
park,
to the
you're just getting
mall or something, like
yeah. The fucking what's it called? The park, you're just getting bit up, and then you have that like random old dude that's jogging past you on your right, and it's just a whole awkward situation.
yeah,
This deck
that
of
happened.
cards is
All right.
this deck of cards is kind of boring. All right, what is your favorite memory from when you were dating it, and what made it so fun?
The PG version was was I had one ex that she would always bring me food whenever we catch because she was a cook or whatever. But the non PG version, I'm not trying to get canceled, so I'm gonna keep the non PG version to myself. We'll probably say that in the DMs or something, but um, no, it's more so. It's like I don't like. I'm such a chill guy with my relationships. Like I literally the I'm such a simple man. Like I literally will bring up, hey, you remember when we had this conversation about uh uh our favorite movie? Like I love talking about movies with my woman. So it's like it's that type of memories. Like it's not really nothing too cheesy. Like, oh, remember when we went skydiving? Like a lot of my relationships was simple because I wasn't the richest at the time. Like I'm not rich now, but it's like I'm not like now I can do certain things like hey, let's go skydiving or not skydiving, like oh hey, let's go out and do this stuff. Like for years I was literally dating just to have sex. So so it's like but yeah, so I don't really have that many memories that are fun yet. I'm done telling new women my favorite color and shit. Like the one that I'm in a relation that I have a date with now that's coming up. that had to postpone because of scheduling conflict. Because I know a lot of people saw me on Twitter like, oh man, schedule change. It is what it is. She thought people was trying to like talk shit about her. I was like, bro, no. Like it was a whole thing. She thought I was like, she was like, because she thought I was like, bro, you giving me PTSD. You make me feel like I'm going back into that bullshit where I had went over like 2 months ago. Like she was like, no, it's not that. She was like, I'm like, yo, we're good. I'm not beefing, whatever. But it's like I brought that up because it's like I try to say too much now because I'm like she follows me on Twitter and she will literally be like, "Yo, why the fuck did you say that?" So, but no, I don't have. Yeah, next question because it's like it's not that many memories. Like
Nah,
with this one, I'm gonna be making a lot of memories because I'm done. I told her this. I said I'm not saying I'm not giving you my, I'm not giving out my favorite color no more. Like I'm literally you're it. You're stuck with me.
no, dude, because like
I'm tired of
I
this shit. I'm 29. I'm tired of this shit.
I am tired of asking girls, "Oh, what's your favorite song?" And then like they just give me some bullshit music, and I'm like, man, or like, "What's your favorite color?" And they just give me a basic ass color, and I'm like, I'm just tired of asking these basic ass
It's high school
questions.
ass shit.
That's what I'm saying, bro. This one is hella boring. What was the other ones? I thought this one was gonna be fun. What was the other one? Let's do the college life. I'm sure there'll be.
Hopefully, some interesting shit right there. Because this dating one is like that's a basic ass.
Yeah, no, that's a high schooler made that deck. How many of your college friends are you still friends with?
Two actually. My boy Jaquan Grand. He's the one of the CEOs of he has a company that I met him in college. He's cool people. Like we don't talk often because he's a married man and he has kids and stuff like that. And I typically don't talk to married couples often because I be doing my own thing and I'm like, y'all got your own thing. Like y'all don't have time to keep up. But every time we do link, it be we never fell out of conversation with like he's cool people. Like he has so much content. I believe I had him on one incarnation of my show. So it's not up anymore, but yeah, he's cool people. Like he's one of the people, and I believe everybody else that I'm cool with now that you see me always interact with are people that I've met from like elementary school, middle school. So yeah, college, like I probably keep up with two people, give or take, but one that I definitely talk to.
I only talk to my roommates, or two of my. I had four roommates. I don't know what my college was thinking, cramming five fucking teenage boys in one apartment. That shit went south so quick. That shit was a mess. But I talked to my buddy Cam, and then I talked to James. And like James, he'll like I don't talk to that guy at all. Like, and I feel bad, but he'll randomly FaceTime me. I'm like, yo, what's good, bro? And he's like, hey man, just want to say I miss you, proud of your hard work, and then just hang up. And I'm like, damn, bro, thanks. Like, did that type of like, I mean, I don't know. But and then Cam, he's out in Vegas, fucking in the
Oh
military with a baby and all that. I'm like, damn, dude, like you living your best life right now.
yeah.
I'm like, that's not the Cam that I knew in college. You were doing some shit. Did you
Yes
get
sir.
along? Did you get along with your first dorm roommate, and are you still in touch?
Hell no, fuck that nigga. Oh man, nah. That's why I think I only lasted in dorms like 2 months, and I just said, "Fuck it, I'm going home." And
I
I just
did. I'm done with that segment. We're just going on. Those cards are
yeah,
boring. But
yeah.
uh, what's it called? No, I was in my dorm for just one school year, so like 9 months. But like, dude, I feel so bad for this. When I found out I got my dorm, the first thing that went through my mind was I was like, "Oh shit, bitches!" And I like told the girl I was dating at the time. We were only dating like a month. I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna be straight up with you. I'm gonna be looking for other girls. We're gonna have to break up." She's like, "Oh, so you got your own place and now you're done?" And I'm like, essentially,
Yeah.
yeah. I was like, I'm gonna be straight up with you. I was like, I'm going to college. Like, I mean, like, I'm sorry. And she was like, all right. And then, like, once I found out they don't be calling home and you miss school like you do in high school, it was a game changer. I was skipping class all the time. And then they didn't tell me they were sending my damn report cards home, though. And my dad would call me. I'd be hungover. Hey, how's classes going? I'm like, oh, fucking great, dude. I came home winter break and I had a pile this high of report cards, and I was like, "Oh," I was like, "That's awkward." I was like, "That's not good." But
Mm.
no, that dorm, we we had to pay a 400 security deposit. I only seen $20 of it back. That's how
I
much
know
shit.
you did because you
La-
probably did some fucked up shit.
we my roommate, he shot the couch with a BB gun, shot it all the way up, holes all over it. My other roommate grabbed the iron and ironed a hole in the couch. My one roommate was a fucking lunatic. He bit a hole in the wall. Uh, we broke the dishwasher, the oven, the stove. We broke everything.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Uh, yeah, no, the dorm was just a crazy time.
Oh yeah, so yeah, college. Oh, I have stories. Not a lot of stories that I'm fond of. That I swore to my mom that I'll never say again. So I'm gonna keep that promise. But yeah, I went through some shit. I'm surprised I ain't got gray hair, but then again, I didn't really care. So like, it was crazy, 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 crazy.
And then the last question that I always ask my guests, it don't got to be related to content creation, just anything in life. What
Hmm.
is the best piece of advice you could give someone?
Honestly, just be yourself and be who you want to meet. Be like if you want to meet a good person or you want someone good in your life, just be your good self. Like and own up to your shit. Like if people call you out on your shit, don't buckle down on it. Don't BS it. Just be like, yo, you know what? My fault. Let me learn. Let me grow. Let me evolve from this and not make the same mistake twice. Because when you make this mistake once, it's a mistake. Once you make the mistake two, three times, it's a lifestyle. So if you're not out here trying to change for the better or be good, then you're a piece of shit and you should probably fall in the ditch somewhere. And at the same time, it's like also you have to learn how to forgive and move on for yourself. Like I'm not out here holding grudges against people who've done me, my mom, my sister, whoever wrong. I'm literally like, you know what? I don't know who people believe in, but I'm like, I believe in God. So I'm like, God got that under control. So I'm not finna harp on it. I'm not finna focus on it. I can apologize for decisions I've made, and I can apologize for your perception of what I intended. But I can't continue to live in that rut. Uh, if you continue to live there, you're going to be miserable. And it's like you have to forgive for yourself. I'm not saying you have to forgive overnight. You have to forgive for yourself. And once you really experience life, you'll be able to really, really basically be better for yourself. You'll be able to sleep better at night too. So that's all I can say. Like honestly, just be who you want to meet. Be a good person. Be a good fucking person. Be genuine. Be authentic. And and honestly, just stop scaring the maidens, bro. That's all. Stop scaring the maidens, bro. Like you got these women out here scared as shit to talk about wrestling and sports and all this stuff because you out here trying to who main evented the Tokyo Dome, bitch. I don't know
Uh,
stuff like that. Just I had to throw that in there, but yeah, just continue to just be cool, just be true to you, and remember to always be your authentic self.
and then if you want to let the people know where they can find you,
Yo, you can follow me on Twitter or X, whatever the fuck they call it, at it's Gresh, Josh Gresham ORG, everywhere else. Once I get those Twitter names changed, it'll all more than likely be at it's Gresh, and you can follow the podcast itself at Gresh Unleashed, Gresh. It's really that simple in spelling, and then everything else. Or you can just make sure, like, yeah, if you're on Twitter, I'm always on there, chopping it up with people, and I am not who people assume that I am or who are telling you I am. I'm literally I'm me. Like, and if you got a problem with me, you can DM me and I might respond. So, but other than that, yo, it's been your boy. It's been your boy Josh Gresham or Josh Gresham, aka Gresh, not John Gresham. I'm high as hell. I stumbled on my words. Take us on.
all right, that's gonna do it for this episode, y'all. Shit, I forgot how to do my outro. Follow me on Twitter at your boy Squints, at a man in his pod. On YouTube, you like, subscribe, all that at your boy Squints. Thumbs up, thumbs down, 1 star, 5 star. I don't give a shit. Just listen and tune in. Uh, that's gonna do it for this episode. I just seen that I had a bunch of chats. I'm sorry I didn't get to y'all. I fucked that up. Uh,
we
but it's been a
we
great
appreciate
time.
you, Alex Ray, Jordan B. Appreciate y'all for kicking it with us.
Wait, you seen those?
Yeah, I see him. I glance at him. Like I can
Yeah,
see him.
no, I did not see them until I just exited out. Damn. Yeah. Shout out to Jordan B. Shout out to Alex. You're the homies. But yeah, that's gonna do for this episode. Peace.